is when we cannot see.
Alright YouTube, looks like the worst of the storm is over, hopefully. It's still raining, but the water has receded, and you can see there has been some slight erosion, tiny bit. This one's pretty good, giant hole in the middle of freaking nowhere. You can actually see what I did here. I ran I want to say it's a belay line, but I don't really know climbing and mountaineering stuff too much, so I strung this rope up because, let me get past it here. I realized when I was watching this flooding and I was watching this creek roar, this was the weak spot right here. And this whole thing is coming up, and I suddenly got the idea that if it broke through and came over the hump here and went towards the house right here, I suddenly realized that just the massive sudden volume of water, you know, like a dam breaking, it could make it nearly impossible for me to walk out of the house, because I would have to cross directly through its path, and the creek wraps around, so there'd be no other way. It goes back there. There'd be basically, there would have been no way to not have to walk through the water, and if that whole creek had let go at once, it might have made it impassable. So I ran this little line up as a guide to kind of hold on to if it got to that, but luckily didn't get to that. But what I want to do is I want to walk over here to the end of the driveway. And in my previous vid, when I showed you guys driving out of here, the end of the driveway was kind of washed out, and it didn't look that bad, and I'm sure some people were like, oh come on, you can get through there, especially with four-wheel drive. But this is what I was worried about. Speaking louder now because of the water rushing here. This is what I was worried about. This is actually part of the driveway. This isn't, you know, here's the culvert and the runoff, and it ends right there. And then it's just started just tearing away a hole. And I was worried that the weight of the vehicle, if this softened up too much, would have went right down. But luckily it's still pretty intact. Here's the other side of the culvert. Oh, you can see this whole thing washed away. I mean, Jesus guys, I was literally walking right through the middle of that thing the other day. Go back a couple vids. And now it's, I don't know, that's got to be deep. I'd guess about 6 feet deep. That's just a pretty rough guess. Last winter, I meant to do a video on the erosion of storms on the roads. Because one of the things I never hear people talk about in an SHTF is what kind of conditions the roads are going to be when no one's working on them. There's no money for all the materials. But look at this. It's just water damage from this one storm. Now you may not think, shit, you may not think that this is much, but let me tell you, ain't no little car, ain't no two-wheel drive little car gonna get through that. It's better up there they could cross, but right here, no way. And this This road, right? This blacktop came out to here. I don't know if you get the angle on it. It came all the way out to here. This thing washed away about a good 3 feet. 2.5, 3 feet of the blacktop. It's gone. So I just wanted to show that to you guys. You know, granted, this was a mega storm, and this is just one day. You know, you get a good winter or spring running. No one's working the roads. Forget about it. I just gotta do something with that. That's it for now. Later, YouTube. Hopefully my power's back on. Actually, my power did come on, went off, came on, but it knocked out my internet. So hopefully my internet's back on. Later, YouTube. Oh yeah, I was walking through this field earlier when I had to, didn't want to cross the huge torrential driveway, and I actually sunk up to my knee and lost the boot. I mean, I found the boot, but it pulled it off. It's become a giant mud trap. Adios.